my camera. Turn on. Turn on. I got this settings problem. Well, hey, there I am. Welcome to Tales from the Backlog. I'm Steve Boshear, and I will be your game master for the evening. Yeah, Cody, we knew you were still staring at the title screen. I was doing stuff, all right? So what I do for the benefit of Cody and anyone else who feels lied to is I start the stream with the "We're about to go live" title screen up, and then I go out to social media and say "We're live right now." That way, I'm not lying. All right. Anyway, we are doing tonight a sequel to a session we ran a few weeks ago, Don't Rest Your Head, in which all of these same lovely people played these same disturbing characters, and it failed to escape the Mad City or accomplish any goal other than blowing up a newspaper press. Yeah, that was. I mean, don't get me wrong. That was an achievement. The thing that you did, it literally says in the book, no one has ever done this. It suggests it as a possible course of action, but then says no one has ever succeeded at this.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. So, I'll stop talking for a second. Let's start with Mia. Go around like we usually do. Introduce yourself and your characters, please.
Hello, and thank you again for joining us, and thank you, Steve, for having us. I'll be playing Natalie Crowell. She is an ER nurse who lost her loved one in an auto accident, and she's been having trouble sleeping, having nightmares, and she found herself relieved of duty from the hospital. On her way out, she ran into one of the other party members, and we've subsequently been stuck in this nightmare. So, hi, and she is definitely about to lose her mind. So, thank you again.
Hi, I'm Matt, coming at you from Bezos 1, and I'll be playing Marshall Forwards tonight. He's a lovable loser, high school failure sports dude.
No, I don't think that's accurate. He wasn't a failure in high school.
He is now, though.
Yeah, that's the problem. That was the only time he wasn't a failure.
Bienvenidos. I'm Jason. I'm playing Fritz Howard, a retail service drone who's working too many damn double shifts and ran his way into the Mad City. Huzzah!
Yeah.
And I'm Kenny. I'm playing Bill Foster, a recently fired middle manager who just snapped at the end and just had no more shits to give.
That is well put. I have the book covers here so that our viewers can see the game. That's front and back cover there. So, bit of a recap. This is a game about insomniacs. Premise of this game is that sometimes people who have not slept for long periods of time, regardless of the reason, sometimes they will fully awaken to the Mad City, a sort of Neil Gaiman Neverwhere style alternate world that lays on top of the waking city and is full of all sorts of dream logic and horrible monsters, and just very much is not a safe place to be. All four of our characters here found themselves there in our last session. And in the course of their staggering about trying to figure out what the hell. Mr. Bill Foster, who is not good for much, but a hell of a shot, managed to kill off some of the paper boys. These are actual boys made out of newspaper, and they're nightmares. They like harming people, and they're not much in a fight. He got rid of a lot of them, but he learned through the kind advice of one of the roof rats, a rival gang of nightmares, that these paper boys, the real threat from them is when they publish a story about you, because their stories tend to come true. So through a sequence of events involving copious use of Marshall Forward's madness talent, and also the straight-up execution of 3 ladies in hating, which are the monstrous overlords of the high school, where children go, but only girls ever graduate. You guys managed to find your way to the printing press where the paper boys were going to print the story about Bill, at which point Bill rolled some dice and managed to shoot out the printing press in such a manner that it completely exploded and destroyed the entire bullpen room of the newspaper, which for some reason is where I said the printing press was, in the bullpen. And that only just occurred to me right now. That's where they always put the printing press, right? Like in the bullpen with the reporters. But no, it makes sense, though, because the reporters are also products of the printing press. They're made of paper. So yeah,
paper.
They are literally newspaper people, and you killed a bunch of them and blew up their printing press. So for now, the threat of that story being printed is eliminated. All of you think Bill Foster is amazing because you all saw him walk away. First, you saw him execute the ladies in hating like they were no threat whatsoever. Then you saw him walk away from an explosion without looking backwards. Now, I'll remind you, out of the 3 other people here, 2 of you are parkour experts who can scale any building, and the third can literally throw a football over a mountain. But Bill Foster is the one dominating this group by virtue of just having a gun. So, yeah. Here you are outside the newly destroyed offices of the paper boys. What will you do now? We left you guys off on the fire escape outside the window. Is this the stunned silence after the explosion? That's literally where we left off. Like it just happened.
Horrified silence.
Good Lord, Bill, that was an amazing shot, I guess. How did you manage that?
Yeah, Bill just kind of, looks down at the gun and kind of looks up, just sort of equally shocked. Because this is, he's shot before, but he's never done anything crazy, right? His gun skills are his madness talent, so this is only something that comes out after he's sort of snapped.
Yeah, and as a reminder, or maybe it's the first time some of our viewers are hearing it, in this game you have exhaustion talents, which are mundane skills that you're supernaturally good at, and madness talents, which are impossible skills. Things you can just do that are magic. And the shooting is Bill Foster's madness talent.
Okay.
With explosive rounds to boot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a magazine with endless bullets and explosive bullets. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something we actually adjusted near the end of the last session. We realized we'd been using the shooting like an exhaustion talent. It's supposed to be something that's just overtly impossible. So yeah, Bill's gun can do anything.
Can I get us out of here?
No.
Like, please break us free from this nightmare.
Well, while we're talking about talents, let's remind ourselves what the other talents are. Mia, what are your exhaustion and madness talents for Natalie?
Her exhaustion is climber as one of her pastimes in her previous life, and her madness is mending bodies / healing.
Oh yes, you healed Fritz of a psychological trauma when he opened the door on the airplane. I remember that, and he was able to uncheck a box of flight because of it. Marshall, what about yours?
I am exhaustion talent. I'm super good at football-related things like throwing, catching, running, football plays. And my madness talent is that I can touch an object and know its history, or touch a person or a living creature and know its thoughts or fears.
All right.
I also want to point out that Natalie healed Marshall at the beginning also by just looking at him.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with Marshall.
Sure. Potato, tomato.
You got punched in the stomach by your skinny nephew. He did 0 damage.
I'm healed.
Like, nice bruise, buddy. Anything else wrong with you?
Well,
and Fritz, how about you?
oh man, Fritz Howard's exhaustion talent is parkour, which has just blossomed since he got into the Mad City.
Oh yeah.
So he can run, climb, jump, roll, tumble, all that crazy shit. And his madness talent is the ability to shatter inanimate objects with his mind.
Which
Or his emotions.
Which, for some reason, he used to shatter the lock on the airplane door.
Yeah, because I wanted to get the airplane door open.
Yeah, and you were then crashing.
Yeah.
To be fair, it seemed like the airplane had already crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Till the
boarded
door
it
was
from-
open.
We boarded it from a building it had conveniently parked into.
Mm-hmm. So, quite the...
Bill, what's your exhaustion talent?
Oh yeah. So Bill's exhaustion talent is preparedness. And so what I did is I had actually flipped, because I think in the book these are actually gunfighting is an exhaustion talent, and preparedness is the madness talent. But for him, since he's a middle manager, I made preparedness and divining the desires of his boss and stuff being his exhaustion talent.
Fantastic. And you used that a couple times. You had a had a mirror from a Harley Davidson, which I don't remember why you needed it. You had like the map. You had read a book about old-timey printing presses, and you knew exactly where to shoot.
I think we were trying to get the Harley Davidson mirror because we wanted to use the reflection to maybe help start a fire or something, if I recall.
Yeah, but you know what? I think you actually might have failed the roll and not gotten the mirror.
Did.
Yeah.
Right. I just couldn't break it off.
Yeah. Shooting, not breaking things with your hands.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, you guys have made a serious ruckus here in the Mad City, and you are now trying to figure out what to do next. So what'll it be?
Damn, I mean, do you all think that anything's going to come after us for this?
If it does, Bill will shoot it.
We've got Bill at our back. It's okay. We'll be fine.
Maybe we should have Bill at our front.
Bill's just sort of perplexed, Again, he's just looking like a middle-aged, middle manager tie and a, suit. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we should have. We're done, aren't we? We blew up the printing press. We should be back to reality, no? Why aren't we waking up?
Well, we're already awake, Bill. Maybe we should find a place to lay low. Now that we've caused a bit of a ruckus.
We could try to blend in at the market, the bazaar.
I mean, Bill kind of looks around and is like, "Are there any like Victorian era hats left over from the gang that we can like put on and pretend to be?"
Well, no, that was the other gang.
Oh, that was the other gang. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that was the roof rats, and they're all under the age of 12. So their hats would be small anyway.
Yeah.
They would be
Just fold themselves
conspicuous
into origami.
amongst all the inconspicuousness that's going on around us.
Right, because if I recall correctly, like
As Fritz
all the
says
drag-
this, there's another smaller explosion from inside the building.
oh, I think we should vacate the premises.
Yeah,
Speed
let's-
walking away. Very.
Yeah.
Let's take this fire escape down to the ground
I agree.
and see if we can't get back to that bazaar and maybe trade stuff for some info on how to get home.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay. So you guys are literally on a fire escape, so getting down to the street is probably the easiest thing to do.
That's why I suggested it.
That's what fire escapes are for.
But I'm sure Fritz and Natalie are doing it with style, like just doing it like as if it was parkour, right? But even though I went downstairs.
Well, technically, Natalie's talent is climbing,
Oh,
which
sorry,
is parkour
sorry,
adjacent.
Okay, got it.
No, I'm mostly just strolling.
All right. So you guys make it down. Like most fire escapes, this one comes out in an alley. Making your way from the alley to the closest bigger street, you see the front of the Paperboys building. There is ink, black ink, running out of the door, down the steps, and into the gutter. And turning back, you see that there is, in fact, ink leaking from several windows and under the very wall of the building in a couple of places. It looks like nothing so much as a bleeding building. And the ink is its blood running through the gutters of the Mad City at this point.
Well, let's hope that doesn't follow us anywhere.
You're probably
Yeah.
right, Fritz. It probably will. This place is unnerving.
Yeah, but exciting.
Bill makes sure to sort of jump over it to ensure it, doesn't get on his really nice loafers.
Okay. Did you guys have a destination beyond get to the street?
Well, Fritz is assuming we're headed to the bazaar to see if we can't get some info just in general about maybe getting out or anything that's going on.
Well, Jason, did you and I show up at the bazaar, or was that Natalie and Marshall? Because I don't
Natalie
think
and Marshall, we showed up. We came up on the rooftops.
that's right. Yeah. So I don't. Did you or I ever see the bazaar?
No, but they just told you about it a minute ago.
But they had told
And
us.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure they mentioned it.
Okay, I just couldn't recall if they had mentioned it to us. I knew we hadn't been there. I just couldn't recall. Okay.
Yeah. Marshall just suggested it tonight.
Yeah, let's go to the bazaar.
All right. Will you guys describe the manner of your travel, please?
Well, I got these things called feats,
Mm-hmm.
and I put one in front of the other, and if I keep doing that, eventually I get places.
Well, thanks.
I'm nervously looking around, just keep an eye on things. Looking up at the top edges of buildings, see if anyone's watching, looking down alleyways,
well,
biting my fingernails down to the skin.
Natalie, you do notice some people. First, on a rooftop, as you pass by, you notice someone who's. It's too dark to tell who it is. It's clearly a man, and the way he's standing, kind of rigidly, it appears like he might be wearing a uniform. But beyond that, you can't make anything out. A block or so later, glancing down an alleyway, you see another man step out of the shadows, walking not directly towards you guys, but comes out of the alley and turns back the way you came from, towards the Paperboys building. You see as he walks out of the alley that he has a wide, unnerving grin on his face, just frozen like a death rictus. And he's wearing the uniform of an 1800s like London bobby police officer. And as he turns down the street, you see the oddest thing: a mechanical turnkey in his back, just spinning as he walks along.
Do you guys see?
Do any of us see it, or just Natalie, since she?
Well,
specifically-
Natalie was the one who specifically said she was looking for people, so she definitely saw it. The rest of you guys, kind of up to you.
I would say I would point them out. Like, you see that guy on the rooftop back there, kind of standing rigid and tall. Couldn't tell if he was in a uniform or not. Check out that guy down the alleyway. Gosh, he looks like he's wearing a uniform as well.
As you say this, another person, this time a woman, walks out from around the corner ahead of you. She is also grinning rigidly and wearing a police uniform, though not of the same era. Hers is more of a modern American police uniform. And as she passes by you, heading in the direction you came from, you see that she too has a turnkey in her back. Like a wind-up toy.
Does she pass us? Like, am I able to kind of graze the turnkey or any part of her without it pushing her into the road or whatever?
And is she ticking like a clock?
If you were to listen, are you listening? Getting close to her and listening, trying to touch her?
Yes.
Okay, well, if Marshall's going to get that close, then Marshall will indeed hear not a ticking, but like a mechanical whirring as of a wind-up toy. What exactly are you going to try to do?
Well, if I can somehow unknowingly like touch the officer, then I would get a sense of where it came from.
Okay. That's your madness talent.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking about here is how many dice you should roll. You're gonna roll against pain here. I'm gonna have 4 pain dice. You may roll. So the way this works, again, if you don't remember, is you roll all your discipline dice, which should, I think, still be 3 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever exhaustion dice are in your pool from previously, or you can add 1 exhaustion dice if you want. And because you're doing a madness talent, you must roll at least 1 madness dice as part of your pool. You win.
I don't recall if I had any exhaustion.
I am almost certain you didn't have any exhaustion because you never did anything football-like. So you wouldn't have done that. What you want is any 1, 2, or 3 on the dice, and the more of them you have, the more successes you have. And you want to beat.
I need to beat your 4, right?
Well, I've rolled 4 dice. You don't know how many successes I have yet.
Right. But I need to beat potentially 4.
Correct.
Well, I will roll 3 madness and 3 of my discipline.
Okay.
I have. So 1, 2, or 3 is a success.
Correct.
So I have 3 successes.
Okay. Now, your highest die rolled, you have succeeded. Your 3 successes beats my 1. But we need to determine whether madness, discipline, or pain is going to dominate the outcome. So what is the highest number showing on any of your dice?
So it's a 6 on both, and then I have a 5 on madness, so that would mean madness.
Madness dominates, because my highest roll on pain is a 5. So, yeah, madness dominates. So this is the outcome. You reach out, and what part of the officer's body are you going to try and touch, by the way?
I think the turnkey.
Okay. When you touch it, you kind of go fuzzy for a second, and then inside your head, it's all blackness, blindness, but you hear a ticking sound that is so dense that it shakes every part of your body all the way through to your spinal cord. You can feel this. And there's a sensation of just like frayed chaos everywhere around you. But this ticking sound is like the slow, methodical force of order driving back the chaos. It's crushing everything around it. And as your vision starts to brighten up, the blackness is replaced by an image of a man with a stopwatch for a face. And he turns his head towards you, looks at you right in the eyes, and then he opens a mouth, his whole lower half of his stopwatch face opening up. And there's this giant toothy maw, but the teeth are spinning gears. And he screams in a voice that somehow sounds like more ticking, and raises a billy club, which is the long hand of a clock made out of thick metal and stained with blood. And he runs like he's going to hit you with it, and then the vision ends. and you are back in the street. But the police officer that you have touched has stopped, and she turns towards you with that face. And she comes after you. You guys are now in a fight. At least Marshall is.
I'm gonna scream like a girl,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna call out for Bill and his magic gun.
Well, because madness dominated the roll, you are forced to check off a response, fight or flight. It sounds like you've described flight.
Yeah, I would say that flight is the winner.
Alrighty. Calling for Bill, huh?
Natalie giving it a wide berth. You go right ahead, Marshall.
So, like, I guess the rest of you guys steered clear, and Marshall basically crossed the street from you to touch this officer. It's kind of what I'm hearing.
Like, what are you doing, Marshall? Come back here.
Well, I thought he was touching the one that just pulled out in front of us.
Yeah, but he described touching her as she passed by. So he would have had... She wasn't blocking your way. You're on a street. You know, she's one person. So, yeah, Marshall would have had to go over to her while the rest of you guys kept your distance from her. Although I didn't hear from Fritz. Maybe you didn't keep your distance.
No.
Okay, understood.
I'm interested, but, I want to keep my distance.
Okay.
Fritz is a runner, not a fighter.
Yeah, so Bill will be sort of nervously pacing, because he just wants to get out of here. And I guess if he notices at this point Marshall's running towards him, I assume.
Yeah. Well, are you Marshall? I mean, he's running away from the officer.
Yeah, I'm utilizing all my best jukes and sidesteps in getting away from this slow-moving machine.
That sounds like some football moves there.
That's right.
Yeah. And Kronk's background noise. Music going on.
I described her as walking. I didn't say she couldn't move quickly. She's running after Marshall.
So Bill, I guess, will, seeing this sort of what appears to be a pretty obvious intent to harm, Marshall will, just snap and open fire at the scary grinning face of the robot, whatever it is.
All right. So how are you going to roll this?
So I'm going to roll. I've got 3 discipline, right, which are my white dice.
Yes.
Black is exhaustion. I have 2. And I will roll at least 1 madness dice.
Okay.
So I will have 6 dice to roll. Yeah. Well, I'll roll that.
I will say you are allowed to fire your gun like a normal person. It doesn't always have to be a madness talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a mad world.
So noted.
All right. So I have 2 successes.
Okay.
It's 1s and 3s, or 1, 2, 3s are successes, right? And then I tied discipline and ties you cancel out, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So you go down to the next highest.
So, which also tied. So my final highest die was my 3, which was discipline.
And what was the highest dice?
A 5.
The first tie. Okay.
And it was, yeah.
Okay, because I also rolled a 5.
Sorry, that's right. You roll pain. My apologies.
Yeah. You won because I got no successes.
Okay.
And I believe that on a tie in what dominates, that goes to the player character. So you've won that as well.
Nice.
And which one was it? It was. It was.
So yeah, so I got double fives and sorry, that's the madness and discipline, and then I got double fours on exhaustion and discipline.
Okay.
And then I got a 3 and a 1 on exhaustion and discipline. So that'd be 2 successes, right? If I'm tracking.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right.
And we ended up on the 3 in exhaustion, determining the domination, right? So
correct.
Discipline, right?
Yeah.
Discipline. Yeah.
Oh, it's in discipline. My bad.
Discipline.
So,
yeah.
All right. So you kill this police officer.
All right, and then Bill just like nonchalantly puts the gun back in the holster, turns, and keeps walking on.
All right. Bill just shot a cop. What rest are you doing?
I'm gonna keep following Bill, but kind of backwards, like kind of jogging backwards, keeping an eye behind us, because Bill just shot this crazy clockwork cop.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, you kill one of them, sure, but, that's just going to draw more of them.
You know what happens, actually? It draws more of them. You're running backwards, looking behind the group, and you do, in fact, start to see more and more of these officers coming out.
Real quick, though, just for Bill, since discipline dominated, you do have the option to remove a response check mark or decrease your exhaustion by 1.
Oh.
Thank you.
I will decrease. I'm trying to think what's better, to remove a fight or remove exhaustion. What do you...
Oh, that's right. Bill had only fight responses available. I remember.
Yes, he does.
It is not possible for Bill to run from something.
Yeah, I will remove.
Run from stuff, but if he fights it, if he pings that fight response, then he's gonna snap.
Yeah. So I guess using fight so he doesn't snap then.
Yeah. No, when he, you guys get 3 responses, and at the beginning of the game you can divide them between fight or flight. Yeah. Bill put all 3 of his into fight, which means any time madness dominates, Bill has to fight. he does not have the choice.
Well, yeah. No, it means that he's gonna. Well, no, he could still ping flight,
but I'll instantly.
No,
snap.
He does not have flight boxes to ping.
No,
you. 0.
He has 0 in flight.
Correct. Yes. It means he cannot check one off.
Yeah, so he can still check them off if madness dominates.
No, you're misunderstanding. You get to choose when you build your character how many times you can flee and how many times you can fight. And your total number of both is 3. He put all 3 in fight, which means he can't flee.
My only reaction to shit if it goes madness is to just stand and fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which they don't recommend. But
the book says don't do that because it limits your options severely. I don't think any of the rest of you did that.
No.
And once again, I said challenge accepted.
Yep, that's Bill Foster. All right. So anyway, back to the scene. You guys are on the street. Bill is walking calmly as though he has not just shot a cop and blown up a newspaper office and executed 3 ladies in Haighting earlier. Fritz has described himself as running backwards to observe the many, many officers who are now appearing in the street. What are Natalie and Marshall doing?
Natalie would definitely be hot-footing it out of there. I don't know if Marshall, did you run and keep running past? If you did, it fell right in behind, but otherwise getting the heck out of there.
Understood. So perhaps a silly question. Are you guys sticking together? Are you going to stay with Bill Foster? Or are you going to stay with Marshall Forwards, who has Marshall, who touched a cop and got her attention in the first place, and Bill, who killed her and drew the attention of all the others. Are you guys still a group, or is that the end of the party?
I would say that I ran towards the group,
Okay.
and I like ran over there when after Bill shot the officer. I was like, guys, I almost died just now, and then just like described my little vision, including the leader, well, the apparent leader of these clockwork cops, with his weird stopwatch gear teeth and billy club, and just said like, I don't even know, like I almost died in a vision, and then I almost died in real life, or whatever this is, but I'm hanging on.
Bill looks confused. Cop? That was a wind-up toy.
A very authoritative wind-up toy, yes.
Okay. So Natalie, you're still with the group as well?
Yeah, definitely. But
You
kind of itching to move on. Like, come on, you guys.
okay?
Especially since we see
Well-
those others coming.
Fritz wants to ask Natalie and Marshall, hey, you all remember how to get to this bizarre place, right?
I would say that I would know how to get there from where we
Yeah.
are, because like I got us to the paper press, so I feel like I'd be able to get us back to the bazaar.
Okay, because I don't know how to get there. Please let's hustle because, and waves his arm at the growing crowd of clockwork cops.
As you do that, at this time, they're all still walking.
Yeah.
They're walking at your speed. They're keeping consistent distance with you guys. However, more of them are appearing from side alleys and even standing on top of rooftops. It's a little bit like It Follows, except there's a lot of them. It's there's about 10 of them in the street behind you at this point, and there are more and more on the sides. They're not stepping out in front of you anymore. That isn't happening.
So are they headed, because at first they were headed towards the printing press, and then like maybe now are they headed both towards the printing press and maybe towards this fallen one, and not really onto us as people?
They're following you.
Okay.
Well,
We should-
Fritz is pushing to move a little faster.
Yes, just let's move. We need to give these things a slip.
Okay.
Freaking me out.
If when we start moving a little faster, do they pick up the pace?
Yeah.
They're not appearing in front of us anymore, though.
Only the one that you touched and later killed appeared in front of you.
So I would say that I could use my football plays techniques, Statue of Liberty that's right out of this place.
Okay. Some of that broke up, but it sounds like you're going to try and athlete magic your way forward at full martial forward speed.
Yeah. So what I want to do is get us a play where we will divert ourselves away from all these clockwork officers, so that we can get away from them.
So it's your intention to run this escape like a football play.
Correct.
Okay, you can do that. Your exhaustion talent allows you to be supernaturally good at anything football related. And
Yes.
I believe, I'm not a big sports guy, but I believe that the way football usually works is that if you want to get one guy away from everyone on the other team, there have to be a lot of other people going and confronting the other team.
So I think in this case, it would be more of like who has the ball, right? And in this case, we're the ball. So I think if we can just create the right diversion, then it will be as if
where we are.
it would be as if like one person appears to go somewhere and then that's not really where they go. So like if there's an alleyway that we can feint them from, then everybody else will go one direction.
Okay. So
I
at
would
this
suggest-
at this time, you're going to roll against 10 pain because you're rolling against all of the officers present. And I said there were 10 behind you. I'm going to ignore the ones on the sides because they haven't technically joined the chase yet. You're rolling this as an exhaustion talent, which means there must be at least one exhaustion dice in the pool. You can determine for yourself how to make up the rest of the pool.
Oh my goodness. I am going to panic for a second. So I'm going against 10, so I need to make what I can get. A good chunk of that.
Okay. If you succeed at this, then your football play will be successful and the whole group will get away. For now, depending on how the roll comes out, the domination.
Well, go big or go home. So I can do a maximum of 6, right?
You can use your 3 discipline dice.
Yep.
You can do a maximum of 6. What, exhaustion?
Yeah, exhaustion.
You
think
may
it's all-
only,
You have to add consecutively, so you could add 1.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. You can only add 1 exhaustion for this roll. So if you have no exhaustion in the pool now, you can add 1 exhaustion to make it 4 total dice. You can add madness. You can add as many madness as you want, up to 6. You don't have to be using a madness talent to add madness dice, but you are running the risk of madness dominating the roll, which isn't good.
Now we can help too, right?
Yes.
Is there?
And in fact, it's very appropriate for you guys to help since this is a team play. The way that works is
Yeah.
you all roll your discipline, and
Yeah.
your successes will add to his success, but will not affect domination.
Correct. So I'll chip in.
Okay.
But I think that the only downside to that is whatever.
Whatever dominates, we're all subject to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is kind of the case anyway in this situation.
Right. So Bill's just going to accept whatever fate is and see if have a better chance of helping.
All right.
Yeah, Fritz will do what he can.
I'll collect successes from the 3 of you first, and then we'll check back with Marshall to see how the main roll came out.
All right.
So, Natalie, do you have any successes?
I dropped 2 dice, 2 successes, a 3 and a 2.
You must roll all 3 discipline dice.
Oh, let me do that one more. And that's a 6.
Okay, so 2 successes from Natalie. Bill?
And 1 for me.
Okay, 3 total. Fritz?
With my 3 dice, I rolled Bupkis.
Okay, so you have 3 free successes here, Marshall. What are we adding that to?
I also have 3 successes.
Your play is successful. The shift is 2. Your 6 successes beat the officer's 4 successes. Let's figure out what's dominating. What's your highest number showing on a die?
My highest is a 4, and that's on my discipline.
Cool. I have 2 6s, 2 5s, no, 3 5s, and a 4. So Pain's going to dominate. Oh, boy.
Ay, ay, ay.
All right, all right. If pain dominates, you must put a coin in the despair coffer. There he is. You guys get away. Wow. Yeah, I really got to start spending those despair. It just never seems appropriate. You guys get away. There is an extra despair point. I seem to have wiped out part of my writing here. You break. You split down crazy alleyways. Marshall's supernatural ability to call plays somehow gets you all on a path where you do not come into contact with one of the officers. And you find yourselves a few minutes later on a completely different street, each of you running out from an alley or a side street to find yourselves in a deserted street outside the ring of officers that were chasing you. You do not know if you have completely lost them, but they are not in sight, and you are positive they do not have you surrounded. Because they clearly did before. You are outside the ring that they had.
I'm going to go off on a long tirade about just how much that was like my high school days, and just, praise myself and just try to get everybody to just congratulate the strong work that just happened, and I'll give thumbs up to everybody.
Okay. Marshall, you let us out of trouble, Marshall. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Give him a big hug.
Oh, thanks.
Is that confusing, Marshall? Do people do that a lot?
Nobody ever. It's been a long time.
All right. Let's see.
But did you lead us towards the bazaar?
GM? Yes?
You have no way of knowing. You were able to find the Paperboy's hideout because you had a scrap of one of them that had come from there, and you read it with your ability. You were finding the bazaar with your regular human sense of direction and the fact that you were there earlier. After this, you're all turned around and you don't know.
So we're lost in this maze of madness. What are we going to do?
Natalie, do you think you'd recognize it from the rooftop? Or from the rooftops?
We could try. This whole city seems twisted and turning and changing as we move through it.
It's a little mad, but I mean, maybe if we get some higher ground, we could get an idea of where we are and what's going on around us.
Okay, let's do that. Climb a nice building.
Yeah, let's climb the outside of the building so we don't go through any portals. Guys, let's all stay down here and keep an eye on the ground.
So the plan is for Fritz and Natalie to climb up, Marshall and Bill to wait on the ground.
Yes.
You guys are staying in the car, as it were.
Well, Bill's gonna look around. He's gonna look for street signs. I know there's probably nothing, but just he'll default to that.
There's nothing that you can make out. There's a street sign. There's one street sign that seems to be in the Cyrillic alphabet, which you cannot read.
Always meant to take those Russian classes.
Yeah.
Marshall will give it a shot, though. Just stare at it for a little bit.
It says Marshall Forwards runs game-winning play.
I can't read that.
So, do we have any trouble getting up one of these buildings?
You can find one that's reasonably easy to climb for experts like yourselves.
All we really need is a fire escape.
Yeah.
Or something.
I mean, you probably don't even need that. But yeah, you can get up there. Sirens. Fritz and Natalie, are you guys going to sort of approach this climb in a way where you stay together and go up at about the same speed?
That's Fritz's intent.
Okay.
But Natalie is up to make that decision on her own for herself.
She's a cautious climber, so she will pace herself. Just stay close. It's like, stay close, Fritz. Who knows what we'll run into as we climb up to the top of this building.
For reals.
Okay, this is what you run into. When you reach the roof of the building, you find there a man standing in a police uniform. Unlike the other police officers that you've seen, he does not have a wind-up key coming out of his back. He does have a stopwatch for his face. And in his hand, instead of a billy club, he holds the long hand of a clock.
She leans over to Fritz, like, out of the frying pan and into the fire.
It is Mr. Minutes, the ex-husband of Miss Minutes. What are we doing in the chat, guys?
Isn't this what Marshall described in his vision? Fritz, we should get out of here.
He described some TikTok man.
He opens his mouth, and you two see the gear teeth spinning in there, and he makes a sound that it sounds like a weird arrangement of screeching metal and clicking gears and just things clattering together, but somehow this cacophony of mechanical sounds forms recognizable words, and he says, "You are under arrest," and charges at you with his billy club raised.
Is there anything lying about on the roof, like a piece of rebar or a 2x4?
I'll say
handy.
You can find something. Well, there's a flagpole that's been broken off on the ground.
I would like to take the opportunity to like pick it up and like jam it into its gear-filled mouth.
Okay.
Fritz wants to dodge through Dark Souls style.
Oh, you have died. I'm just kidding.
No, I haven't told yet, so we don't know that.
Okay. Just because of the order in which they were said, let's have Natalie roll first to try and jam the flagpole into Officer Tock's face.
So it'd be what? All 3 discipline, and I think I want to add some madness to that.
Okay. You're rolling against 6 for Officer Tock.
Oh, jeez. That's 5, 6, and 6 on my discipline dice, and a 4 and a 2 on my madness dice.
You have 5, 6, and 6 on discipline?
Yeah.
I am spending a despair point to remove one of your 6s. You got how many successes total?
1.
Okay. So you've failed. The flagpole goes off to the side, and Officer Tock grabs it with his free hand and yanks it out of your grip and throws it. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how this game would mechanically simulate something like getting harmed by an enemy. It would be... It doesn't really seem to do that. Like, combat isn't...
It's mostly like wounds or scars.
Yeah.
But you mostly get, I believe you just get those through madness. Like madness dominating when you snap.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, scars are something that we just decide on amongst ourselves as a story point. But yeah. Like, one of you guys could just suggest any event in the story as having scarred you, and if I approve it, then it just happens. But yeah, so he takes that thing and he swings his billy club at you. It hits you. It hurts. This point that I've removed from despair is going into your hope column, but not until after this roll is resolved, which is now. You have failed. Your roll was specifically to jam his face with the pole, and that has failed, and you've lost the pole and gotten hurt. Fritz, you were going to try and Dark Souls roll under him. So
can I amend that to Dark Souls roll through him, attempting to trip him up now that he's going for that flagpole?
Okay, you also will be rolling against 6 pain dice. He's a 6 pain creature.
Yes, he is. Let's grab a couple madness dice for this. Oh, pardon me.
While you recover, Natalie's like holding her shoulder, I guess. I don't know where he hit her, but you like club her in the neck or the head or something, Steve? Or...
you can choose something that leaves you, alive.
I would say maybe like hit her in the arm and wounded her arm a little bit. So she may not be able to climb as well if it's necessary. So yeah, clutches her arm. Oh!
Yeah, that's not pretty. Fritz, how'd your roll come out?
So I have 5 successes with 2 6s on discipline dominating.
5 successes with 2 6s on discipline?
Yes.
What's your next lowest dice in discipline?
My next lowest discipline die is a 2. But my next lowest die is a 4 on exhaustion.
Okay, so I'm going to do this again. I'm removing one of your 6s. Wait, you had 2 6s?
Yes, I did.
Then this won't matter, so I'm not going to do it because then we would tie, and the tie would go to the player character. So you would still your discipline would still dominate. However, I got 5 successes, so your roll fails, but discipline dominates. Your situation's under control, so you may remove 1 exhaustion or uncheck 1 response. You try to roll and trip up Officer Tock. Hitting his legs is like hitting a fence post. It just isn't going anywhere.
I'm assuming it's a sturdy fence post and not, a really shitty, rickety fence post.
Yeah, you're right about that. You hit him and stop, but he's so distracted by Natalie's even more bizarre attempt to jam something into his mouth that he does not have any time to deal with you. So you're able to get up and back away and rethink your situation enough to do, what is it you're doing on your paper there? I gave you a couple choices.
Oh, I'm lessening my current exhaustion by 1.
Great. So yeah, that woke you up a little bit. Not too much, thank God. But yeah, that happened. As the two of you are facing off against Officer Tock up on the roof, Bill Foster and Marshall Forwards are down on the ground waiting. Is there anything you two would like to be doing at this point?
Ironically, Bill Foster is looking at his watch while this is all going on. Wait.
You know, I feel like there's definitely a story element to Bill where he's definitely going to become one of the nightmares. Like, his just absolute refusal to accept the situation. It's just like, what? This is normal? Sometimes we shoot cops. It's what? Hey, Joshua's in the chat. That is our one and only Throck coming to cheer us on. If only he were here, huh? He probably wouldn't be on your side.
Did you hear Natalie like yelp, like "ouch"?
Yeah, you guys do hear that.
Bill looks up, kind of like, okay, well, how do we get up there? Because last time, and he kind of looks at Marshall like, last time we walked into a building,
Yeah,
we ended up coming out somewhere different.
Yeah, then you killed a bunch of schoolgirls.
No, those were paper people. Wasn't it?
We went out the garage.
Yeah,
That's when we ran into
this phenomenon you're describing did happen more than once, and one of those times you came the first time when it was just you and you had just gotten here.
That's
you
right.
Came out and shot the paper boys. Then later, all of you found your way to the roof of the high school, facing off against the ladies in Hating, who are supposed to be quite challenging, and who Bill just laid waste to.
Yeah, but I mean, Bill might have just, forgotten about that.
Yeah.
What, is he the bad guy in this?
No, he just considers him sort of non-sequential, just consequential, just sort of like they were there, it's done, he's moving on, right? Like,
makes sense to me, Bill.
Robot came out, you shot it in the face, robot broke, they moved on.
Yeah.
So yeah, is there any way up? Like, I know, like, he watched Fritz and climb up and.
Yeah, there is no way. There's no good way up for Bill. This does not involve shooting a gun, and therefore Bill can't do it. You described yourself as a fairly average middle-aged white guy who works office jobs. You can't climb the side of a building.
No. Yeah, and there's nothing he could prepare for because this is a place that I don't know. So he's gonna look at Marshall, kind of just throw his hands up and go, I don't know, what do we do?
Marshall, I will also point
you.
out that that football does not involve climbing, so you can't really get up either.
Now,
Well, that's how you don't play it.
Well, as I mentioned, I'm not really a sports guy.
now could you throw Bill like a football?
I did. My one thought was that, like, as all you guys are having this big fight, that I would just be looking at Bill and being like, do you think I could throw a football up there? And then, just see what happens. But it's probably not a very good idea.
Why not?
I don't know if I have a heavy enough football.
Joshua wants you to do it.
Natalie's backing up towards the edge of the building to escape.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything that I can throw? I'll just try to show off to Bill and throw something.
I mean,
that.
there's no football around.
Yeah, but is there like a baseball? Or
There are no balls around.
You got
like a rock or
pull off the pole from the
concrete.
street sign.
No,
like a javelin.
There's nothing appropriately sized. The only really thing around here that you could probably pick up is Bill. Or his gun.
well, I'm not throwing that.
Who knows, if I roll my madness dice, I can shoot it while you throw it.
Do you have anything on you, like a wallet or anything else that you might throw?
I wouldn't throw my wallet.
I don't know what you'd do.
That's where I keep my high school football trading card they made me.
and your vintage school ID that you still hold on to.
Yeah, and one of those
To get your student discount 20 years later, right?
yeah. And then I have one of those unused like fundraiser cards that say that I can get like a shake for $1 or something at a fast food place.
Oh my
I
gosh,
have that.
dude.
It's unused.
Jason pulling out his high school ID card there.
I just found this yesterday. Junior
Outstanding.
year.
That being the case, unless you're going to try and throw Bill, which would be a really hard roll. I mean, I'd let you do it, but it'd be a really hard roll. Unless you're going
I'm
to
not
throw
gonna
Bill,
try
there's
to
nothing
throw
to do.
Bill.
If you can
I
think of
guess-
any other football-related ability that's applicable, we can go that way. But otherwise, no.
I mean, I'll let you know. But my thought right now is that Natalie says that she's backing up to the roof, and we did hear her say "ow."
Yeah, you did. You heard her yell when she
So-
got hit.
I don't recall, but did Bill like bend his bullet somehow when we shot at the?
Like a trick shot.
Isn't that what happened? Somehow is it, or did he just happen to get super lucky with his aim?
There was a description of bullets bending at the time. However, the final description of the scene did not involve it. I would allow it. It's a madness talent, and impossible things are part and parcel. So if Bill wants to try and bend a bullet to hit an enemy he has not seen and doesn't know the identity of, that sounds very Bill, because he seems to have no problem with murdering things without asking questions.
Is there any visible like entrance to the building that they're on?
Yes,
Like-
yes, there is a door. It's a building that you can go into.
Okay.
You know, we were just kind of going with what you learned from past experiences, which is that doors don't always lead where they should.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. What Bill will do is he'll shoot upwards. Yeah. There's really. I'm trying to think of. Trying to think of what would be a good use of, because I can't see any. Because I have no. Because honestly, like Bill just hears the scream. He has nothing. He actually probably doesn't even see if there's anything to shoot at. So I would play it as, Bill would kind of walk towards the door, open it, and kind of look inside to see what the interior looks like of the building. See if it's any chance that there's a rational cohesion to this building and the roof.
You open the building's front door, see a large ballroom with a spiral staircase in the middle of it, going up farther than you can see. We're going to cut back to Natalie and Fritz now.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Joshua. Thanks for stopping by. I'm sorry Bill didn't get thrown.
So, you know what? Fritz, after bouncing off this guy, it wasn't anything. Fritz is going to freak out a little bit and wants to try and cave in the roof under this TikTok man
Okay.
using his madness talent.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
He figures, I can't beat him, but maybe I can get him to, bury himself, get buried under some rubble for a minute, and then we can figure out where we're going in GTFOH.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I get to know how much pain I'm going up against for this?
All of the things that you're doing count as being in conflict with Officer Tock. Therefore, you are facing his six pain dice. I know in D&D or other more complicated systems, like the roof would have hit points and things like that, but this is just us describing ways in which you're fighting Officer Tock. So
Yeah.
you can
Okay.
count on the 6 for as long as it's just you and him.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if. Yeah, F it. Okay. I'm pulling 5 madness dice for this.
Oh, all right. All right.
Go big or go home, right? Oh,
I go home.
Oh no! Oh.
Violent earthquake. Natalie falls off the building. Thanks, Fritz.
Oh,
Oh,
boy. What are we doing here, bud?
Give me just a sec. Okay. Give me a sec. Reading the example for what I'm looking if I can do.
All right.
Okay. So I can do this post facto. How many successes do you have?
2.
Okay, I don't have to do this. So it's gonna be really fucking good though. So I have 3 successes.
Okay.
And if you're wondering what's dominated, boy howdy, is it madness.
How many?
I've got 2 6s and a 5.
Have you
Oh,
now?
Hmm?
I said, have you now? My friend, Mr. Jason. In pain, I also have 2 6s and a 5.
Oh, shit.
And the difference between me and you is that I can spend a despair point.
Oh, no.
So
pain
I'm just
dominates, but you
curious.
succeed.
I'm curious. Okay, so I've got two 6s for madness. Oh, but you've got 2 6s in pain, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm making this pain, although madness would be worse.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let you be mad.
Okay, give me a sec. I want to maybe do this.
Okay.
What were you trying to look up?
I'm looking up. I want to see if I can.
Spend a hope point.
Oh no, there's no hope. There's no hope here. I'm seeing how far I should go with something.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. I kind of want to go a little crazy here. Like I'm kind of stressed out, and I'm gonna check off my 1 fight box.
Okay.
And so, do I cave this roof in on a?
Yeah, let me go ahead and describe the result of your roll before you choose your response.
Yeah.
You do cave the roof in.
Mm-hmm.
The result of the madness dominating is that when you cave the roof in, you see below you a huge ballroom. And Officer Tock falls onto this spiral staircase that is going down an impossibly long distance towards the ballroom. Like the building you climbed is only about 3 stories, but this ballroom is about 40 stories below you somehow inside the building. And Officer Tock's billy club, which is shaped like the minute hand of a clock, only giant, catches, like the hook shape on the end of it, catches the railing, and he starts sliding down the spiral staircase like this. All the rubble is falling down through the air, and Natalie and you are safe on the roof.
Okay. Well, I mean, part of what I intended to get out of this was for him to be kind of incapacitated, and since I have decided to check fight for my response,
Okay.
I would like to see if I can narrate Fritz just starts screaming, swearing at this thing, fuck you. You want that? Fuck you. And just starts building up that stress and that tension as he's trying to like make more stuff. Like the spiral staircase that like this guy's trying to coast down on. He's trying to make that shatter. Like everything. He just wants everything to shatter. The roof is starting to shatter more.
Okay,
it's growing. Like that hole in the roof is growing.
Here's the thing about a super tall spiral staircase that's only attached at the floor and the ceiling. If either of those anchor points is removed, it has a stability problem. So you, with your extended rage, have vicious mockeried the roof over where the spiral staircase attaches. And it is now freestanding on the floor, not attached to the roof at all. And it doesn't collapse, it doesn't shatter the way the roof did, but it starts to fall to the side. And as it does so, Officer Tock's Minute Hand Billy Club does come free of the railing, and he falls towards the ground far below. At this point, he's already slid a good distance of it, and he falls towards the ground. Bill, you're looking in the door, and you see this big ballroom and this spiral staircase. All of a sudden, there's a weird, crashy, explosion-y sound, and you look up, and way, way far above you, you see moonlight shining in through this break in the roof, and you hear the voice of Fritz Howard yelling obscenities at this man who's spinning his way down a spiral staircase. The thing collapses, the man falls and lands in a broken heap in front of you. Then starts to move. Slowly, you see one arm plant, and then the other, which is holding in its hand a giant arrow-shaped thing, and then a leg, and he just sort of forces himself like a broken machine up to his feet, and you see his face is a stopwatch with the glass all cracked. And he looks at you and says, "I have a warrant for your arrest, Bill Foster." At which point I will now inform you, because he has a warrant, Officer Tock gains 2 additional pain dice, and he is now an 8 pain creature. With that, we will take our 10-minute break.
Nice.
So, good job there, everyone, trying desperately to beat the system. We will. It's about 9:56 here in California. We'll be back at about 10:06, or when everybody is all seated and ready. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. Yeah, well, sometimes these things happen. So I have, to save, processing power, because there have been drop frames a lot, I have the OBS set to deactivate the cameras when they're not on. So that's why this keeps happening. But
no worries.
I'm back now.
Yay, he's alive.
It takes it time to warm up. Because otherwise, like, the 2 other cameras in this room that we don't use for this show would also be on, and their video signal would be processed and all that stuff. I'm not unplugging cameras. That's hard. Welcome back. So Officer Tock, standing in front of Bill Foster, looking scary, damaged. He has a warrant for your arrest, Bill. What are you going to do?
Bill just kind of gives him that, I don't have time for this shit. And then he just pulls out the gun and just unloads on the clock face of whatever this is.
Okay. This guy, man, I swear. is reminding me of my childhood hero, who was the Emilio Estevez version of Billy the Kid.
Yes.
Whose solution to every problem was to kill it. And I grew up watching that movie and thinking, oh, he's so cool. And then I got to be an adult and I rewatched it and I went, he just killed 6 people.
Reap it, Murphy, you old buzzard.
Yes. He only says buzzard in the TV version.
That's right.
Did you watch it at our house? Because we had it on VHS.
Yeah, I think I watched the shit out of that one too as a kid. So.
Yeah, we watched the TV version so often we wore out the tape.
Well, I guess it fits. We're in the spirit world.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
The big chicken. Okay.
Chicken, yes.
Chicken.
You see the size of that chicken?
Chicken.
Dirty Steve is my spirit animal.
So
so you're rolling against Officer Tock's 8 pain dice.
Right. So I've got 3 discipline, 2 exhaustion, and I will roll. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 madness dice. Because why the fuck not?
Indeed.
Can I
Yeah.
add my 3 discipline to that?
How? In what way will you help Bill?
Music cheerleading. Get him.
I'll hold the door open.
Sure, roll him.
Your distraction. All right. Okay.
Marshall, how many successes?
1.
Okay, Bill.
3.
That's a tie. That's 4 successes on Pain and 4 successes on your side. What's going to dominate here?
Well, I rolled double 6s on discipline.
Okay. Double 6s on discipline. Anything on madness?
Double 5s.
Double 6s are your highest.
Yeah.
Okay, I got triple 6s with a 5 after it.
Shit.
Well, do my double 6s help also?
No, they don't.
No, they do not. Only your successes add to the pool. You can't affect the domination. What I want to look up is who wins the tie.
I think character wins the tie.
Well, see, there's 2 ways to tie. Tying on domination goes. I've been playing. It goes to the character. But only one kind of tie automatically goes to the player character. So I need to look that up.
Because it says, for interpreting the result degrees, more successes mean opposition won the conflict, but characters win ties.
Okay. So I may have been doing that wrong because I've been giving you automatic wins on domination, which may be wrong. Okay, so you win the tie there.
Right. And then in terms of domination, you won, right?
Oh, definitely won domination.
Yeah. So, which is therefore pain.
Indeed, and that means I get a free despair, which I'm never able to spend because I keep beating you guys anyway.
And yeah. All right.
So you shoot him right in the damn face, and the bullet ricochets off of his clock face and strikes the hinge of the door that Marshall is holding. And Marshall, you're holding the door, and Bill fires, and the door just like, the hinge just breaks in your hand, and all of a sudden you're holding a door that's only attached by its bottom hinge. But Bill, you have shot Officer Tock. I assume your goal in shooting him was to kill him.
Yes.
You have not killed him. But he does seem to be stopped for the moment. He's like, and just sort of standing there looking stunned.
Well, Marshall, do you want to do something, or since I already I shot at him, do you want to try something?
And
Well,
after
I've got
Marshall, we're
this
going to check
door.
in with Natalie, who has just been
Oh,
staying
sure,
in the
yeah,
room
they're
for a
upstairs,
while.
yeah.
Yeah.
Upon hearing the shot, she turns to peer down to see them and start to climb down very slowly, carefully,
Peering through the hole in the roof or peering over the side you came up?
over the side of the building.
Okay. Yeah,
Down
that's
into the street.
much easier to see because the distance is shorter out there. Yeah, I love dream logic. Okay, so you're climbing down towards Marshall and Bill. Fritz, what are you going to do? Last we left you, you were screaming into a hole.
I think I might still be screaming into that hole. No, you just leave that. Just leave it. Nope, leave those two, honey.
I used to have a cat who would literally steal my rings because I would take them off and leave them on my dresser or whatever, and then I would find them in his mouth. He'd just carry them off like a dog going to hide a bone. And you know what?
Yep.
I permanently lost my wedding ring. And I'm not saying the cat did it, but I'm saying I had the cat and I don't have the wedding ring. That's why I have a tattoo now. Because you can't lose
no.
that.
Oh, damn cats.
Yeah, I think I might be still in the throes of my fight response.
Okay.
Which would mean I'm probably going to be trying to get down fast as possible through that hole in the roof.
Oh, really? There's no
So
staircase anymore.
I'm looking. Yeah, but there's still walls. Okay, where is it? Sorry, I've got one more discipline die down here. There it is. It's just literally in the worst possible spot for me to get at.
Okay.
All right.
So, reminder of what you're seeing looking through the hole.
Yeah.
This building on the outside is not that big. On the inside, it's massive. There are walls, but you're looking down through a hole that is the center of the ceiling of a massive ballroom. You're not near the walls.
Leave it. No, leave it. Leave it. You can come up, but leave it. Oh.
I think what you're saying, Steve, is that he won't need to use his skill of blowing out his knees. They'll just blow out if he jumps down the hole.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I wouldn't want to just jump down the hole. I had assumed my hole was a little bit bigger.
Your hole is plenty big enough for you to jump through.
But it was big enough that I could wall run down one of these walls.
If you're using your exhaustion talent, my best suggestion is try to make it to the toppled over staircase because it is leaning against the wall. And it's below you, but not as far below you as the ground.
Okay, then I'd go for that.
All right. I'll make that like a 3-pane roll.
Okay. I'm gonna take one more exhaustion for that.
Okay.
Let's see how bad we do. We've got 1, 2. I got 3 successes with exhaustion dominating.
Okay. I also got 3 successes. Exhaustion dominates with what?
6.
Okay. Exhaustion dominates. What's your next lowest?
Next lowest is I have a 4 in discipline and exhaustion.
Okay. All right. So exhaustion is going to dominate.
Leave it.
You're going to have to increase your exhaustion by 1 involuntarily.
Oh, I did.
Okay. What is your exhaustion now?
I'm currently at my current exhaustion is 4.
Ooh, that's cool. Let's see if we can make that be 6.
I've been trying to put my damn madness up.
You did succeed. You make it to the staircase. You almost slip off. It's a hard fall. This is a weird angle. Like, it's not like a common parkour trick that people practice, falling onto a fallen over.
I hit that staircase and it's going to be like jumping rung to rung. Stop it.
Yeah.
Like literally like hop, 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 hop.
Yeah, and
like,
you're not hitting the stairs themselves. You're hitting the railing.
Yeah, I'm hitting the like railing.
Yeah.
But not running down the rail, like hopping from the railing to railing, like as it goes down that spiral.
Yeah, and you make it. You make it to the ground eventually. It is quite a trick. Bill and Marshall are pretty impressed. Well before you get all the way to the ground, Fritz, you notice that Officer Tock is on his feet.
Yeah.
And you hear the shots as Bill blasts him in the face, and you notice that Officer Tock is still on his feet. You do make it to the ground, though.
Yeah. Honey, calm down. I know.
You know, I just gotta say, he looks like he did not consent to this arrangement. That's the look. Yeah, that's the look on his face. He's just like...
No, he's definitely giving that look, because what he wants to consent to is pulling all these dice onto the floor and pulling my dice tray onto the floor and chewing on my charge cable.
That's
what he wants to consent to.
This is total tangent. My wife read an article about cats that said humans never domesticated cats. It was more of a mutual arrangements. Humans domesticated dogs. We made them our pets. The cats, we just sort of let them live in the barn and kill the mice. So all the like forced evolution that dogs have gone through to become like obedient puppies, the cats didn't do that. And
no.
They're still indignant that we treat them like pets.
No, he definitely doesn't have any of those obedient traits.
Anyway, enough about that. Natalie has climbed to the ground outside. Fritz has climbed to the ground inside, which took considerably longer. Bill is standing in the door. Marshall is holding the door. Officer Tock is starting to move again. What will you do? I will say this for you, Bill, since you're looking right at Officer Tock's face.
Right.
The glass, which was cracked from the fall, the crack is starting to seal up.
Ah, crap.
And the bullet didn't crack anything.
Shit. All right. Guys, we need to get out of here. And as Bill's saying that, he's going to sort of back out, and then he's just going to unload on Officer TikTok's face.
Okay. I mean, this is your madness gun, so you describe how it's working. Tock is going to roll against it, of course, with his 8.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever remembered watching, there was like this 80s cop show. I'm trying to remember the name of it. But
Sledgehammer?
Hunter?
Yes, you had the ridiculous like sized gun. I think it was Sledgehammer, right?
Okay.
Sledgehammer, yeah.
I went to Hunter, but sure.
Yeah,
I remember Sledgehammer too.
Obnoxiously loud boom, right? So he's gonna shoot as somehow this gun turns into the gun from Sledgehammer.
Okay.
As he fires just this hand cannon at Mr. TikTok.
How much are you rolling?
So let's see. I roll 3, 2. I am going to roll 3 madness.
Okay.
All right. So let me roll and see what happens.
And what's your exhaustion at?
2. I have 2 exhaustion dice.
So 8 total dice. Okay, you're
total
evenly
dice.
matched with Tock.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. So I rolled 4 successes.
Okay. You have 1.
And my highest is a 6 for discipline.
You have lost that. Pain dominates.
Ah.
So you shoot Tock, and you do see a small crack appear in the glass where you shot him. Is this just a bullet? Is this like a cannonball? Like, what's coming out of the gun here?
It's like just a large slug of a shell, like a bullet.
Yeah, so it cracks the faceplate, and he stops again for a second. He still does not fall down. However, the sound of that shot echoes through all the streets outside. And it occurs to all of you now that there is absolutely no way the other officers didn't hear that. That was pain dominating, so...
Get another to spare.
Yeah. And once again, I'm collecting them faster than I can spend them. Like, I could spin... The only thing I can really spend them for is to add or remove a 6 from a dice pool.
Right, and in this case, you didn't need to.
Pain keeps winning. So it's like...
Damn it. Alright. So... Alright, guys, the question is... So having hit this thing now twice...
Stop it.
Successfully, and seeing no actual damage...
Wait a minute. I just realized how I could be spending these. I don't have to spend them to make pain dominate. I could spend them to make madness dominate. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it for this one that we just did. That's resolved. But now I'm going to think about it next time. I could spend my despair points to make madness dominate.
Yeah.
I haven't done that. I've only been spending them to make pain dominate. That was my mistake. All right.
Yeah, because I think if you spend them, you can add or remove a 6 from any pool.
Yeah.
Any pool.
Yeah.
So I could remove a 6 from your discipline.
Correct.
If I wanted to. Anyway, go on.
Oh, so Bill, having seen this, is just backpedaling out the door.
All right. So at this point, Bill, Natalie, and Marshall are all on the street out front of this building. Fritz, you're still inside the building with the officer.
Yes, I am. So, what is this Mr. TikTok guy? He focused on Bill?
At the moment, he looks like someone who's just been hit in the face really hard, and his eyes are still kind of crossed, if he had eyes. But yes, he was facing Bill.
So I'm going to do something really stupid.
Really?
And I'm, more stupid.
Someone even say mad.
Oh, no, we're getting there. You need to stop right now.
All right, fine.
Right now.
See you guys.
Fritz is just going to shout. Fritz has still got all his, he is all head up. And he just shouts at this fucking clock face son of a bitch. Hey, you fucking punch. You time clock fucking punch motherfucker.
Okay.
And he's going to try and bring the building down.
Holy hell, dude.
Okay, for real. You need to go down so I can focus on this.
Natalie's out front like, come on, we got to go. Let's go. Bill, your gun didn't do anything.
Yeah, so Fritz's power is to bring down inanimate objects?
Correct.
I can shatter inanimate objects.
What you got for me, Fritz?
Not as good as I wanted,
okay,
but interesting. Okay, so I have got 5 successes.
Ooh, okay.
With, weirdly enough, discipline dominating by 1/6. So I've got two 6s on discipline and a 6 on exhaustion. And then I've got a 5 on discipline and 2 5s on madness.
Now you can also burn those hopes if you want to add more successes just to ensure you bring the building on this guy.
Well, I'm waiting to see if I succeed already.
So tell me those 6s again. You had 2 6s in discipline and 1 6 in exhaustion?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to spend a despair point.
So if you take away one of those discipline, madness is going to dominate. At least from my end.
Yeah, actually, that's not the case. I'm taking away one of those disciplines, and pain is going to dominate.
Oh.
Because I have 2 6s in pain. So, we tied on successes, so you win the tie. You bring down the building, and it lands all on Officer Tock and yourself.
Ow.
Because planning. Yeah. You are severely injured, and
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
most importantly, buried under tons of rubble. On the plus side,
At least you don't get a point of despair out of it.
Yeah. On the plus side, the 3 of you have a chance to get away because while Fritz is buried under rubble, so is Officer Tock.
Fritz! Oh my God, Fritz! And she's starting to tear up. Oh my God! She runs forward to see if she can help.
Yeah,
Okay.
is there any chance, like, having seen where Fritz was, like, was he, like, is there a possibility he could have found some sort of crevice to hide under?
I'll tell you what, if you do like a discipline roll to see if you can figure that out, it's difficult because of the bizarre way space was behaving in the first place. He was standing in a spot that shouldn't have existed from the outside of the building.
True. All right.
So you're going to be opposing 4 pain.
All right.
No.
So I roll discipline. Do I roll exhaustion?
Yeah, if you have exhaustion in your pool, you have to roll those regardless.
Yeah. Oh, right. So I have 3 successes.
Okay, I have 4 successes.
Oh.
So unfortunately, you have no clue where the hell Fritz is in all this rubble.
I mean,
Well, if we burn hope, he could
burn
I
a
want to
hope.
burn hope. I have hope.
You can burn a
Burn
hope. You can burn a
That
hope
would
to
tie.
add a 1, and that would be a tie, and that would go to you. But what is going to dominate here? My highest is 2.
My height, well, so I have 2 6s, 1 in exhaustion, 1 in whatchamacallit, discipline. So those
What's
do
your
those
next
cancel each
highest?
other out?
Those
Then
cancel
I
out,
have-
and you go down to the
Then
next
I have 2 2s, they cancel out, and I have a 1
Wait,
What's the 1 in?
in dominance. Or sorry, discipline. Sorry.
So, yeah, okay, so you don't know where Fritz is, but nothing bad is going to happen.
Okay.
Except, I can spend a
wait.
despair point.
Yep.
You didn't roll any madness, right?
No, I rolled no madness.
All right, so I can spend a despair point to put a 6 in pain.
Yep.
So you're going to get your hope back. And pain is going to dominate. And the way that pain dominates is that you start to see the other officers, all the clockwork lieutenants appearing from the side streets and alleys, from the direction that you ditched them in, drawn by your gunshots and by the sound of a collapsing building. And they're now all looking at you. At this point, there are 6 of them here. Fritz is still buried, Bill, Natalie, and Marshall are free to act.
I'm going to place the door back as if the building did not collapse.
It stands there for a second and then just falls in onto the rubble.
And then I'm
Waited for me to take a drink for that.
I'm going to suggest that we book it.
Being distracted, Natalie is still trying to pull away at the debris and not seeing the Clockwork cops
Okay.
at this moment.
I'm going to say that of the three of you, Marshall is the fastest runner. Your real fastest runner is buried under rubble. But, yeah, if Marshall's going to take off, you guys are going to have your work cut out for you keeping up with him. Unless he spends exhaustion and makes it an exhaustion talent, in which case you guys are not going to be able to keep up with him.
I mean, Bill, do you want to hang out here or?
So Bill's gonna look towards Natalie to kind of see if she's having any luck finding Fritz.
And she had no idea where he was in the building. She's just frantically pulling away debris near the edge.
Cool. You move a stone, and you see Officer Tock's hand clutching that billy club. And it starts to move, like he's trying to dig himself out with it.
She bolts up onto her feet and looks around at this point and sees the others.
Yeah. There they are.
Is Marshall already run off, or?
I feel like Marshall and Bill were still talking.
Yeah, I'm hesitating.
Yeah, Marshall doesn't want to be alone, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, and Bill's sort of looking back at the incoming automatons and looking back to try and figure out. So in terms of knowing Fritz's potential location, because we tied, right, in terms of. So does that mean I kind of know where he is, or does that mean I don't know where he is at all?
You don't know where he is at all.
Crap.
Oh, no, wait. Spending your hope point means you won. I got a little mixed up on the
Yeah, sorry. So I won.
So you do know where he is. You do know where he is.
But
that was your only goal with the roll. So if you won, then you know where he is.
Right.
Pain dominated, but you know.
So Bill will point towards where Fritz was and goes, "Hurry up! I'll hold him off." And he's just going to turn and face the oncoming horde.
All right, that's fun. Fucking Bill Foster, dude. I didn't tell the rest of you guys this. I told Kenny. The day after our last game, I got a call from an unknown number. And I Googled it. And it was assigned to Bill Foster from Ohio.
What?
William Foster called me the day after Bill Foster's debut on this stream. He left no message, and I never heard from him again.
Until now.
Sounds like a Bill Foster thing to do.
He probably shot somebody when I didn't answer.
Right.
But we're going to cut away from Bill here. Natalie, you've stood up and seen the other officers here. What are you going to do about that?
At this point, she thinks Fritz is basically dead, but she's looking down and she's like, "Oh my God, that Clockwork man is still moving." She's backing away and is preparing to turn to run. It's like, come on, let's get out of here.
Okay. And Marshall is pushing for this anyway, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, the situation is you guys are surrounded. Officer Tock's hand is moving. Natalie and Marshall can't find Fritz and want to run. Bill knows where Fritz is. But he's still buried under rubble.
Yeah, was able to indicate his location to the other two?
You can do that easily.
Yeah, sorry. I just point. He's over there.
You need to stop.
And then I'll sort of back into the building because you're talking about these automatons are coming from outside.
Yeah, they're kind of coming from behind you. The direction you guys came from to get here, so yeah.
And then after pointing, he's just going to turn around and just start opening up on the nearest automaton that's coming.
Okay, so Bill, like the middle-aged white guy that you are, you've just given instructions and expect them to be followed?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Natalie and Marshall, Bill has given you instructions and then opened fire. Are you going to follow the instructions?
I have, like, we can see the Billy Club kind of like moving around. Is that?
Yeah, he's trying to dig himself out with it. It's not subtle at the point. Natalie moved the rock that freed Officer Tock's hand.
So I guess if Natalie's still over there, then I would like yell at her like smash him, take the club. You know, because she's got the rock. So instead of backing away, like maybe try to get his weapon. Then we can run.
Taking that suggestion, she will attempt to do that. Smash his hand and then snatch his clock. Billy Club.
Okay.
She really wants to run.
So your exhaustion talent is climbing and your madness talent is healing. Neither of those will apply to smashing Officer Tock's hand. But you can still roll for it. So tell me what you're going to roll.
Let me see.
And I will have you roll.
He can't be an 8 if he's under a bunch of rubble.
He can, and I'll tell you why. It's not hit points or skill points. It's plot armor. That's what the numbers mean. You guys tell me how much of your plot armor you're employing, and he is employing his 8.
Okay. I will roll, I guess, 2 exhaustion, 3 discipline, and 2 madness.
Okay. So that's 7 against his 8.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes with a high of 6 on discipline.
Okay. You tied my successes, so you win that. Pain dominates with 3 6s and a 5. You smash his hand. You are able to smash it hard enough that he releases his grip on his clock hand billy club. And when you pick it up, you feel something you did not expect. Your own hand clenches onto it, and you are unable to let go of it. And you feel within you a ticking as of a machine coming from within your own body. Officer Tock's hand stops moving. Fritz!
In a panic, she's trying to fling it away, but she can't let it go.
That's correct.
No.
You cannot let it go. Fritz, you're buried under rubble.
Boy, howdy, and I'm conscious.
Not at first. You weren't for a while, but you're starting to remember that you exist and that you're a person. Yeah, definitely a lot of that. There's dust in your face. There's dust in your nose. A lot of things hurt. Like one of your knees is probably broken. Feels like maybe some ribs, maybe a collapse. There's just a lot of pain. Like you feel like you have injuries, multiple injuries that any one of them would be crippling. But you're awake. and you can't move because of the amount of weight on top of you. You can't even move enough to test out how hurt you are. Your memory starts to come back to you, and you recall how you got here. What will you do?
I'm just moaning really loud in pain. It fucking hurts.
Marshall, you can hear that. Because you ran where Bill pointed. Because Bill's a middle-aged white guy.
Whatever you say, Coach.
What are you going to do?
Well, if do I notice that Natalie has
No.
I mean, obviously I see that she got the club, but have I noticed that she's become?
You do see her doing like this, but you don't know why. You can't tell that she's unable to release it.
Yeah, I know. You're being a poop.
You mentioned that Officer Tock or whatever had a stopwatch.
His face was a stopwatch.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought that you had mentioned that he had
No.
a stopwatch that he looked at. Okay, so then I'll be where Fritz. Well, what's the status of all the other officers now that Officer Tock is allegedly incapacitated?
There are now 10 of them present, and they are approaching the rubble.
And Bill is still shooting at them.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. We've
Okay.
given Bill plenty of chances to shoot at things. I just wanted to give the rest of you guys something to act on before we get back to the murder spree.
So then I guess I'm going to run over to where Fritz is, but I'm going to drag Natalie with me.
Okay.
And she can use that lever of hers to help us get Fritz out quicker.
I will say, squats and lifting, very applicable to football.
Sure, but so is having a piece of metal you can pry things with. So.
All right. Natalie, you feel very uncomfortable with this thing on your hand. You can tell it is trying to take you over. But you are not. You are not out of your wits. You are able to understand what Marshall wants. What are you going to do?
Freaking out about not being able to let this go. So you're going to kind of basically put it on the ground and stand on it and try and rip her hand free.
You can't. Well, yeah. Let's roll it. I'm going to have you roll against 6 pain.
Goodness.
Stop it. Stop it.
All right, we'll do this again. 2 exhaustion, 3 discipline, and as much madness as she can muster. I'm just going to drop 3 madness on that too.
Okay.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. 6 is high on discipline.
Okay.
2 6s in discipline.
All right, you win with 4 successes against my 2. Pain dominates with 3 6s and a 5. These dice that I'm using just really like 6s. You are able to get this thing out of your hand, but in the process of it, you sprain this finger and you rip some skin off the palm. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. It hurts.
My hand. You can just see the bloody mess of skin stuck to it. That's nasty.
Yeah.
Don't pick that up, Marshall. Don't.
Okay, I won't pick it up, but you got to help me get all these rocks off the Fritz.
It starts to crumble. The billy club that you put down starts to rust, at a rapid rate and crumble apart. And looking at your hand, you see it starting to reform out of where your skin should be growing back.
No.
Marshall, are you going to try and move some of the rubble?
Yeah, I will use my squats and lifting heavy things techniques that I learned from football practice.
All right. You're going against 4 here to try and get Fritz out from under the rubble.
I believe that I have an exhaustion now.
Okay.
And I'll do 2 madness just for fun. I have 4 successes and the highest is a 5 on discipline.
Okay, you win and pain dominates, which is a common refrain lately. Yeah, so you are able to throw some rocks out of the way and free up Mr. Fritz Howard, who is lying there in serious pain with a broken body.
Can I, out of character, suggest something?
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, you should spend a hope to add a 6 to that check you just made.
You can't spend a hope to add a 6. You can spend a hope to add a 1.
I
add 6s. You guys add 1s.
Ooh.
Yeah, it improves success, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
So we're going to go ahead and leave Natalie with a disturbing thing growing on her hand, and Marshall having just freed up Bill Foster or Fritz Howard, who is crushed and broken, but not dead. And Bill, you now are faced with you're muted, I think.
Yes.
You are now faced with a total of 12 Clockwork Lieutenants coming out of the woodwork. How many are you gonna kill? Because there's 12 of them. They each have 1 pain dice. So you're rolling against 12 pain at this point.
Oh, gotcha. To determine how many pain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can determine how many I want to shoot, and then that's how many pain dice I'm rolling against.
Sure, we can play it that way.
Or yeah, either way. So I will unload what would be half a clip, I guess, with 6 shots. In this theoretical world.
I mean, I don't feel like you use clips anymore unless you feel like it.
No. But in his mind, he's using what would be the equivalent of a clip.
Also, I'm 90% sure you said it was a revolver last time.
True, but again, it's madness, right? So it can change.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add an exhaustion. So I will roll 3 exhaustion.
Okay.
And 3 discipline, and then I will add 2 madness. Yeah, why not?
And how many are you trying to shoot?
6.
Okay. Because I don't know if you saw, but I did have to go into a drawer to get more dice for the 12. But
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna shoot half of them to try the closest one to kind of buy us more time. That's what Bill's thinking.
All right. You are going against 6 now.
All right. So, the news is that I got 5 successes.
What? I mean, I heard you, but what?
Yeah. Yep. Just got, there we go.
Okay.
All through. And then my highest, then afterwards, for my non-successes, the highest that's exhaustion. So discipline 6, exhaustion 5, discipline 4.
Pain Oh, my hand is the wrong way.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm trying to do.
655.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be painful.
Yeah, it's gonna be pain. But you do win. You kill all 6 of them. The first one comes out like a fireball. The second one comes out like a firework, and it hits the Clockwork Lieutenant's face and then explodes.
Nice.
The third one comes out as a corkscrew, which drills into the thing's head and drops him. The fourth one explodes the street underneath where he's standing, and he falls in. The fifth one just disintegrates him like an actual death ray.
Nice.
And the sixth one shoots a spray of ball bearings onto the road in front of him. And he slips and falls and slides into the rubble and cracks his skull open on a rock. You have, and all of this within a split second. You have killed all of them. There are still 6 remaining, and 2 more arrive.
All right, guys, we need to go.
So I got Fritz out. I'm just like yelling to Bill. I got Fritz out, but he's almost folded in half. He looks like a lawn chair.
Yeah, I'm in a bit of pain.
Fritz, I want you to roll something to attempt to stand up and walk.
Well, I mean, that sounds like walking at this point sounds like it's a exhaustive sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to have to roll my discipline and exhaustion.
You're rolling against 6.
Yeah.
My guess
I should have
pain
told you that
dominates
before you
literally and figuratively.
You may adjust your roll if you wish to, since I did not tell you how many you were rolling against before you rolled. You can add dice if you wish.
No.
Okay.
I got 3 successes.
And burn a hope if you need it.
My God. You guys. Fritz stands up. What'd you get for domination?
I mean, considering this whole situation and how I keep trying to push my madness to dominate, exhaustion dominated.
By what?
5.
I've got 3 5s and a 4 here.
I've got, so I have 2 5s in exhaustion and 1 5 in discipline.
Okay, so pain dominates. You stand to your feet. You're not able to... I'm going to say that you're able to walk. You're not able to run unless you use your exhaustion talent. You will not be able to get away without that.
Yeah.
Additionally, there are 2 more Clockwork Lieutenants have arrived. There are now 10 of them. 4 of them have reached the rubble, and they are advancing on Bill. And you can hear them, even though their lips are not moving, saying, "Bill Foster, there is a warrant for your arrest." But they're obviously not trying to arrest you, they're trying to kill you.
Can I help Fritz out with my madness talent?
I don't know if we really have time right now.
For her madness talent, I think you have time.
Yeah?
Yeah. What do you got for me, Natalie? I'm thinking Fritz rolled against 6 to stand up, so I'm gonna keep that at 6 for you to heal him.
So 6 madness.
Okay, all of them. All right.
I'm gonna drop all of them on there.
You have any exhaustion in there?
I could drop 1, I think, at this point.
Remember, you don't have to. You can use some of the hope too to do an automatic success.
That's true. I think the rule is you can only spend 1 at a time, so you can use 1 hope.
No, it's as many as you want.
Okay, well, it's up to you then, Mia.
I was just saying, if you don't want to have to roll so many madness dice.
It's getting pretty late, so I don't think your comrades would mind if you used them all.
I was gonna say I rolled 1 success. All of that.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Are you going to spend any of the hope? Because I have 2 successes.
yeah, I guess I should probably spend 2 hope then.
Well, 1 hope would get you the success.
1 well, okay, so
Because
just
tie,
1.
yeah, tie goes to the player.
Yeah.
Tie got okay.
Okay, so yeah, you succeed at healing Fritz enough that he is able to run. He is still hurt, but he is no longer crippled. What's going to dominate here? I have 2 6s, a 5, and a 4 on pain.
So I have 2 6s, 1 in exhaustion and 1 in madness. I have 2 5s, 1
Okay,
in
well
madness.
that's enough then. If you don't have 2
Okay.
6s in the same pool, then pain dominates. Cool. So pain's going to dominate. We're going to get yet another one of these. Can't spend them fast enough, guys.
You can't. We keep winning, but it keeps hurting.
Yeah, you keep getting hurt. Like I keep adding cops. But here's something. They have started to run. There's still 10 of them here. There's 4 heading to Bill. There's 3 heading to Fritz. There are 3 heading to Marshall. They're ignoring Natalie.
How big's the club in my hand now?
It is in the realm of like iron filings that are forming over your skin. At this point, it's reached like a film. Marshall, do you maybe want to tackle somebody or something? I mean, football does involve violence.
It does, but we couldn't barely knock over the.
Well, we couldn't knock over the big man, but these aren't the big man.
Yeah, Bill's
No,
killed
but-
a lot of these guys.
But I feel like the big man is on our side now.
Is he?
How far do you want to
shall
trust
see.
that?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that, bud. Right now, what you
Not
got to
sure.
deal with is the fact that you're being attacked.
Well, I mean, running isn't an attack.
They're
They're just running at me.
They're running towards you with clear malicious intent. And I feel like the average person can tell when someone's running towards them to attack.
So I think what I'll do is the
Kenny's
football. I think what I'll do is the football stuff where I just like smash their faces in the ground as I like jump over them.
muted. Okay, let's roll that. I said there were 3 coming at you, so you're rolling against 3.
So I have to use my 3, and
You have to use at least 1 exhaustion,
I
which
have
I
to
think.
use exhaustion. I'm going to add another exhaustion for fun.
Okay.
Which gives me 4 successes and 5 on discipline is my highest.
You succeed, but pain dominates.
You gotta switch out your dice, man.
My dude, roll some madness, and I will use my despair to put a 6 in madness. But I'm not allowed to do that if there's not already at least 1 die in the pool. So, yeah. You push their faces into the ground, run right past them, and yell for Natalie to follow you. Natalie, The thing in your hand has formed into a solid object at this point. It's big enough that you could wrap your hand around and grip it. And as that happens, you feel it attempting to take over your mind. I will need you to roll something to try and resist it.
Discipline?
Discipline plus any permanent exhaustion you have there.
Current exhaustion.
Any current exhaustion.
Which is pretty high. Okay.
You're rolling against 8, by the way.
Okay. I rolled 3 exhaustion and 3 discipline.
Okay.
With 5 successes with a 4 high.
I bet pain dominates.
Unless pain wins.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, pain dominates, but you win. You successfully resist for now this thing's attempt to take you over. However, you're so focused on keeping it from taking over your mind that you fail to notice it's beginning to convert your hand from the hand of a female nurse into the larger hand, the larger gloved hand of a male police chief.
I think in that moment she's like, and shaking her head and groaning fairly loudly.
At which point, your comrades may notice that you have a glove on all of a sudden. Yeah, let's cut back to Fritz. What are you doing?
Well, if I'm feeling physically, I'm feeling significantly better.
Yes. Enough that you can run.
Yeah, and I got these, 3 dudes coming at me?
You do.
I do. I kind of want to get away from all this.
Okay.
But I don't want to leave my friends behind with these 3 assholes.
Fair.
So what I want to do is I actually want to try and run. I want to parkour over and through them, assuming that they are coming at me in a decent enough clump that I can kind of treat them as scenery to jump, bounce off of and leap over.
Fair. Okay, I understand.
I basically want to really hard aggro these 3 and pull them off from the rest of the group.
I see you guys using the chat to plan strategy.
Oh, are we?
Don't think you're slipping that by me.
I was just cheering and sharing some min modes.
Okay, anyway, yes. Go ahead and roll your parkour. You're rolling against 3 dudes, so you're rolling against 3.
Yeah, well, I'm rolling 7 dice, so...
All right, well, I'll see you when you land.
Yeah. All right, so I have got 4 successes with what I've got, exhaustion dominating with 2 5s.
Guess what?
Pain's dominating.
No! Exhaustion dominates.
God,
And you succeed. So yeah, you easily jump up onto these guys and bounce off their shoulders and heads like they are just fucking fence posts.
Yeah.
And land on the other side and may head in any direction you wish from there.
Since I don't really know anywhere to go, I am literally just going in a random direction that is away from where we are now.
You said a moment ago you didn't want to abandon your friends.
Well, I didn't want to abandon them
completely.
With these three on them.
Okay.
I'm trying to peel these 3 off, and hopefully I will lose them somewhere else.
See, Steve, the difference is there's a difference between mostly abandoned and all the way abandoned.
Just
Yeah,
partially.
you know, I'll figure a way back.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
Whatevs.
what? I'm about to crash or something?
No, I was just using that for a Monty Python reference. So
that was actually a Princess Bride reference.
Princess Bride, right, sorry.
But yeah, let's go back to what Bill's doing. We haven't checked in with Bill in a bit.
So yeah, Bill has started to see these robotic, whatever they are, circle around him. And how many are left now? That
there was 3 on Marshall and 4 coming at you.
I think there was 10 or 12 or something like that.
There were 10 total last. No new ones have appeared. There were 3 on Marshall, 3 on Fritz, and 4 on Bill. So Fritz has evaded his.
All right. I will shoot at the. There was 4 you said coming at me.
Correct.
I will shoot at the 4 first. The 4 of mine, and well as. And then how many were going around Natalie? None were going, you said, after Natalie.
None were
right?
going for Natalie. Natalie's got her own problems.
And Marshall's got how many?
3.
3. Ah, shit. Yeah, I'll shoot all 7.
Okay.
So I will roll 3 discipline, 3 exhaustion, and I'll have to do 1 madness at least.
Okay.
So that'll be a 7 for 7. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? 4 successes.
Woo. Okay.
But exhaustion dominates.
I'm going to say that exhaustion dominates with what?
A 6. Sorry, my bad.
1 single 6?
1 single 6.
Okay. I'm going to say with your 4 successes, you drop 4 of them. And
Okay.
it's going to be the 3 that are coming after Marshall and 1 of your own.
Okay.
So there's still 3 on you. Pain dominates, which is why there's still 3 on you.
Got it. Son of a...
Guys, I promised our friend Matt that we would end early tonight, and despite my best efforts, I was not able to kill you guys by 11 o'clock. You're just too damn good. What I want to do, Matt, how are you doing? Are we able to try and get you guys out of this scenario and then call it a night?
Sure.
We can put a pin in it right here as far as I'm concerned, but we are in the middle of a fight.
I mean, I was considering knocking some heads to help Bill out, if that's gonna work in. I mean, depending on the dice, if that'll work in our favor.
At this point, it might, because 3 of them have just been dropped out of a total of 10. Another 3 have been evaded, so there's 4 of them has just been dropped, and another 3 have been evaded. So there's 3 left that are a current threat to Bill. So if you want to try and football tackle all 3 of them in one rush, you can try that.
I do. Are they lined up appropriately?
If you move to the correct spot before you run, yes, they are.
All right, so I'll do that.
Use that.
And then just for the sake of Jason, I'll just roll everything.
Okay.
For the sake of me?
Well, you were wanting madness to dominate, yeah.
I know you're itching to have madness.
I wanted to dominate for me.
All right.
I just want you to see it happen.
So you got 6 madness and 3 discipline. How much exhaustion? 1? 2?
So I guess I can only add 1 to my 1, right? Is that
no,
correct?
you had 1, and then didn't you add another 1 to that?
So I think
did.
you're required to roll those 2.
Yeah, you are required to those.
Every time you add an exhaustion, it becomes part of your current exhaustion.
Okay.
Yeah,
and you
it stays.
have to roll those.
So then I'll roll 3 exhaustion, 3 discipline, and 6 madness.
Okay, dude, roll it.
Bring it, please.
I really want this to go well for you.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 successes,
Okay.
and my highest is a 6 in madness.
Okay, you charge these 3 guys so hard that all 3 of them go flying all the way back across the street. They slam into the ground and do not get up again. This happens directly at the feet of the next wave of Clockwork Lieutenants coming out of the alley. They look down and see their comrades smashed on the ground. Look up to see Marshall Forward standing there going, "Hurrah!" And they are...
hard because pain dominates.
Yeah, no, pain does not dominate. Madness dominates. So you're going to have to check off a response, Marshall Forwards, because you see more and more Clockwork Lieutenants arriving, more than you can possibly handle. And you turn to see also that Natalie is now holding the billy club that you already saw rust and evaporate.
In that case, I will mark off another flight.
Okay.
And
Is that all your responses?
no.
Okay. All right, so you're running away then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, Marshall's running. Fritz is already running.
Who's coming with me?
Bill, are you going?
Yeah, at this point, seeing there's a break, I will stage sort of a fighting with, because I think there's all of them are gone next to me. So yeah, I'm running too.
Okay, Natalie, your hand has been transformed and it's now holding the full billy club object, but you are still in your right mind.
So I follow the others.
All right. Well, I didn't expect this, but I think we're going to have to do a part 3.
I'm shocked.
I
Shocked
am
at this
totally fine
development.
with it. I am totally fine with it because I love this game.
Oh no, this is a blast.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you guys. I feel like having played this like this in 2 sessions, I feel like this game really is designed to keep it going. Like, that's part of what's happening here. There's not really an easy way for me to kill you, and there's not really an easy way for you guys to win. It just has to keep going. So that's cool with me. We'll do another one of these in a few weeks. It's not on the schedule. Other stuff is, so we'll figure it out when we can. But thank you guys for playing. Thank you everyone for watching. I see at least Nerdy Seraphim still in the chat, so hi. And anyone else who might still be up. We'll see you guys next time, and peace out.